I was milling a wee while back for a guy and they were asking about, I was cutting some 4.9 150 squares,
Yeah.
and they were sort of discussing how much it would be, so I sent him a message and he said £100 a beam.
Well, that 6 I worked out, that 6 for 6 you cut. I sold the guy 2 metres of the end of it and I charged him 25 quid. He said, "You sure?" "Oh, I was going to look for that, like, yes." "And that's fine, okay."
So, yeah, because if you look at a round post, it's about 50 quid, is it not?
Oh, aye. So I got shafted that guy, Brennan, because he said, "Oh, I'm paying £300 a cube for large 50 by 150. And I thought, when I cut them all and did all the labour,
he basically just puts a price in now and he's got it off to a T and just redecks them, and if they need cladding, they need cladding. So this is what it's all for. He's got a couple of, well, he borrowed my big saw and ripped a big oak tree up last year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But he gets all the large. He's got potential of a lot of large. It was somebody actually came and seen me at Perth Game Fair last year, and the other side of the Noon. So, yeah, if you're looking for larch in the future, it might be somebody worth speaking to.
And at the other end I think it's kind of off a wee bit, 2.5, and then if you can straighten one edge on it, leave the wean edge on. Is that okay?
So you want that done with everything?
With these two?
I know, but everything, like so every single one with a decent edge on it rather than leaving the chainsaw.
Yeah.
So I'll probably have to do half of them off, and then I'll be able to turn it because it's going to be quite high to start off with.
And you might have to lift one end to get that.
Yeah. What I usually do is run along and take that face off and that, and it just floors it down and makes it sit flat.
Okay.
Because you're losing that in the slab anyway.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Aye. And then there's this pile of,
Shite.
well,
Yeah.
that's alright.
Aye. But you've got orders to go through, haven't you?
No, I'm going to put it stock. So boards in 6x6.
Oh, right. That's fair.
Probably more 6x6 out of the larch. And if you want more, there's another 10 tons sitting up the end of the road there.
Oh, that's wonderful. It's fine.
I thought that.
No, we'll just get done what we'll get done over the 2 days and
Get cracking.
get cracking.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Go back. You're right back. Can you push that end in? Just push it, don't lift it, just push it. Keep going. Keep going, keep going. Hang on, wait a minute. Hold it there a minute. Nice shape. Stop. Fine. We're all good. Panic over. To assess your first cut, take the first side of slab wood off, as we would call it. You're looking to what your finished product is. You're going to be your best cuts, depending on if customer wants through and through boards cut or whether he wants dimensioned cuts. Generally what I do is look for the narrowest point on the log if it's a substantial size log, and then make my first cut. So like say your furniture makers, for example, you know, they want it cut in a different way, which would be totally different to what I would perceive to be cut. So you would work with what customer requirement would be to get the best quality timber out the log. So with this mill we have a wireless remote, which means that you don't traditionally walk along with the machine. You can stand back from it and walk round about it, so your visibility is better cutting bigger logs, and I use it also to assist to help customer lift off boards if he so do requires. Traditionally I've always had diesel engines. 3 years ago went over to petrol or gas engine as they call it. I find it's quieter, cleaner running as well, and I don't think it drinks any more fuel than what a diesel engine would anyway. This machine has AccuSet 2 on it, so it has 16 different programs you can input into it of multiple different sizes. It has also auto down, auto up, so if you're starting a log, for instance, you would put it into auto down at the desired size you want it to mill, for example 50 mil, so when you raise the head, when you come out at the end, you would come back to the beginning and just flick your drum switch to come down, and it would drop naturally 50 mil, including the kerf of your blade as well, and then you would start cutting again, rather than an operator using the manual scale or working it out. The blades I generally use on hardwoods, which is for example your oak, elm, beech, ash, I will use what we have a 929 profile. Most of the softwood which I mill, I use a vortex blade for cutting, which is a 1030 vortex profile, and I do have the traditional general purpose blades, which is just a 1030 profile, which you can cut soft and hardwood. I generally find I'll use them in sycamores, birches, maples, and maybe slightly rougher softwoods with maybe quite knotty timber, because they will perform better in that for me. I sharpen all my own blades. I have my own setter and sharpener. I set the blades every time because I feel you can get problems with your set, a lot of problems with set. It needs to be equal on both sides. What I've seen before is if your blades aren't set correctly, you generally get a rise as you go into the log. We'll leave that like that and be ready for him to come back and pick it up.
been cutting wood for the best part of 15 years, and we just cut whatever is local that's come down diseased or windblown and try and make something nice out of it. We've got this oak here that came from a local estate. It was blown down. It's probably about 250-year-old, and it's a lovely piece of wood. This is about a quarter of the tree that came down, that's sitting here, and you can see here the quality of it. It's fairly fast growing for oak. The pattern that you see on it is it's called medullary rays, and it's more apparent in oak than most other timbers, I think.
We can get all seasons in one day in the UK. Generally through the summer it's not as problematic unless it is raining. Why do I do this job? Why do I like it? It's the travelling about, meeting people, staying with people. I get to go to lots of different parts of my country, which I probably would never see in my lifetime. So some places, yes, you get some stunning views and it's great, the weather's good. Yes, some days you get to go to some places where you're stuck in a shed and you just have to put up with it. So I've used these sawmills for over 20 years now. So started off with quite a small sawmill at the beginning, and now I've came up to using LT70 like this one. Big one is housekeeping on the machine. After each day I've finished milling, as long as it's not been raining and it is dry, I have a leaf blower that I blow the worst of the sawdust off the machine all round it. And as you're doing this, you can sort of cast your eye over the machine and do quick checks and see anything that needs to be done for the next day or before the next day when you arrive at the next place. At the end of the day, I will take the blade off. What I have found is that the resin that is on the belt, it sticks onto the inside of the blade. Which can potentially, if it's been resinous timber you've been milling, the next day it can throw a blade because the blade will stick to the belt. clean the inside of the housing where the blade runs. At the end of the day, make sure that is clean and just free of resin and sawdust, that you're starting afresh the next time you put a blade on. Kind of wanted to get a bit off that way as it's sitting just now. You're gonna have to trim that up a bit.
I think it's probably the side opposite here.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Because I've seen like,
Good, maybe that's good.
well, where do you want me? About there, don't you? Really? Yeah, get that off first, and then I don't know whether to put that down and catch that on there, because it'll be more secure.
Maybe raise this end a little bit if you can, or is that sort of...
No, I can probably go a wee bit more. Let me push it in first. That's okay. Is that like? You happy there? You sure? What about there? You ain't gonna have much sawdust today. Gonna blow away. I never actually looked to see what it looked like.
Nice. Very nice.
It's okay?
Yeah?
So what do you want to do?
I wonder if you just take... I think I should have gone higher on that. The backing. I think probably I don't know whether to go 2 inch or 40 mil.
What, 3 and 3?
Yeah.
Just watch yourself. No, we try and get another one.
Yeah, I mean, I really like Sycamore actually. It's nice stuff that.
Watch your back. You happy enough with it?
Yeah, I think that's done that quite well.
Uh-huh.
Not very ripply, but quite well.
You're just gonna slide them onto that, or are you gonna lift it?
Still quite white in the middle, isn't it?
Yeah.
Coming as I am, I think.
I think you're about right. Just don't scratch any paint off, you know?
I'll try not to.
You're still getting an 8-inch bore.
Yes, so, and I mean, we've got all the nice embellishments coming through there, so all the flesh.
Smaller boards than that from Gilmore's.
Are you happy with that, gentlemen?
Yes, thank you, sir.
I wouldn't say happy was the word we'd use, but
Well, at least it's a product now that you can use some of it.
Mildly satisfied.
yes, I reckon by the time it's dried, you're going to lose that off each end.
Yeah. What we're discussing is the ends are really hard. They've been hardened with the weather.
Yeah.
You can hear the difference, the tone in the saw going in. So also they're too hard and they'll not dry out. The same for you guys for down the line. So the ends will naturally get chopped off as well.
Yeah, so that's all just going to split.
It will split in case
More than it already is.
case harden, as they call it, I think,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Well, that's when you
the kilning process.
That's the
dry
kilning.
it too quickly.
Yes. Nice quarter saw and millinery raise.
Medullary raise. Look at that, those flecks there. And so many customers think that the timber has been infected with some sort of horrible disease and that it's defective. But that's actually the best part of the tree. That's the choice cut. So that's like your fillet steak.
That's why the woodworm's going for it. The whatever they are. Let's get them out of the way so we don't squash them.
Yeah.
Shift
because-
that one.
Because it's the most stable part of the. And what we normally use is for feature panels for that nice effect and book meshing.
Just over 200. So you want to turn it up? Yeah.
the reason don't cut the boards wide, you don't need the boards wide, is because I can't get them across my planer. So basically this is where it all starts. So
you want the timber mill to suit your requirements in the workshop?
Basically, yeah. Aye.
And handling it?
Yeah, because if you've got a 600 wide board, then it's going to be, and it's 2.5, 3 metres long, then it's really heavy. I'm trying to get that on the table saw to cut that to dimension that, and then I can't get it across the planer because that's only 400 wide. You can get wider planers, but
you don't need to have wider planer because of your furniture. What you make is all done within under 400 millimetres.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Some people will say, right, if you're doing a dining table, why don't you have one big wide plank, and then that's your dining table? But how are you going to flatten it? Because when timber dries out, for example, there you go, I mean, look at that.
What did you do to that?
It dried out. That's how it dried out. So,
why? What caused it to dry that out? Is it something to do with this?
Something to do with, yes, so this is burring. So these are like little branches, little suckers that seem to sort of congregate in one area of the tree, and they never actually come to anything. So it's a bit like a sort of benign cancer for the tree. It creates a really nice pattern. But when that dries out, the grain is all over the place, so it creates a lot of movement and shape. So I want to get that nice and flat. But if you've got a massive wide board, you can't get it across the planer. How do you make it flat? You'd have to use a router and a frame, and you'd have to slide the router backwards and forwards over the frame. That'd take you a whole week to do. Whereas if you actually build up a tabletop in sections, join them together, then it takes less time. But then what you do is to reduce, also if you've got one wide board, as it dries out, you get seasonal variations, and it wants to cup. But if you're putting the boards together and you're opposing the rings and opposing the grain, then one moves one way, one moves the other way, keeps it flat. Simple. This is finish Scottish elm, which is very, very hard to come by these days because of the Dutch elm disease, which has been a disease which has been ravaging our elm trees in the UK for decades now, since the 70s?
I think it has been the 70s, yes.
Yeah, so and we're not seeing any more elm trees coming on because basically we've just been cutting them all down to try and eradicate the disease. So if you do come across elm, it's silly money. And then in the middle is Keith's favourite timber. He loves this timber. And it's sycamore.
And sycamore is lovely to cut.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't think you liked sycamore.
Can you explain what this is?
Right, so this is rippled sycamore. So essentially this is when a tree, so when you've got a multi-stemmed sycamore, they tend to grow multi-stemmed, and when one is actually coming in at an angle and it's slightly bowed and curved, what it does is compresses all the fibres on one side, so to create that rippling effect. If you've got quarter sawn boards, which is where your board is there and then the grain runs runs vertical to the surface, then that's quarter sawn, and that's the most stable part, and that's what we were getting Keith to cut on these logs today. So and you can see the quite nice patterns within these cabinets. So those panels are cut to 8mm, which in Albany is 3/8 of an inch. So and then they're joined together to create this mirrored effect. But some customers look at it and go, "Oh, well, that's strange. Timber's been infected with some disease." But no, it's the best part of the tree. And the reason why people say that is because they don't see it very often, because there's not a lot of solid timber being made anymore, apart from when you come to bespoke cabinet makers.
If you do design something, do you not think about how you're going to make it first?
Oh no.
You design it first, then make it.
Well, I'll say if you can do it, you can make it.
Fair enough.
It's worked so far.
Have you got any other designs we can look at?
Yeah. I'm just trying to think. So basically, this forms the template for making the real thing, which is all going to be made in solid elm. That is a template for the backrest of a chair. That is a leg for a hallway table. That was an arch for, well, it was a curve for templating an arched doorway.
Right, yeah.